Hi everyone, it's Mike, the PrepperNerd, and I'm here with another video on the Prep Inventory system. As always, it's such a privilege to offer this system to such an amazing community of like-minded people, and people who are awake to the idea that it's important that we all build some level of self-sustainability, as the world around us can be unpredictable at best. So far, I'm pleased to share that we've set up 62 people with the PrepperNerd inventory system. The feedback has been just fantastic, and the suggestions have helped us to build even more valuable features, such as the barcode scanning feature, which we now have 201 items available in the database for easily adding common food preps to your inventory. I'll be happy when we can get to at least 1,000, but every new user that uses the barcode feature is actually contributing to the database, so I'm hopeful we'll get there in a matter of just a couple of months or so. So we'll see. A couple quick reminders to users before we get into the video. Real quick, I just want to remind users who may be watching about a few things. So first, I want to say that if you've signed up for the interest list and haven't seen an invitation, please check your email or even your spam folder and search for email sent from mike@prepper-nerd.com. As of right now, everyone has been invited that has ever joined the interest list. So if you didn't get an invite and you've checked your email, you can email me and I can re-invite you. Second, let me know if you need any changes to your drop-down options for those of you who are actually using the system currently. Any changes like categories, locations for your food storage, etc., or even hiding columns that you don't want to see. I'm happy to make those updates as you continue to use the system and your needs change. Remember that there's a mobile app so that you can use your inventory system from your tablet or your smartphone. You can download the app from Smartsheet in any app store, Google or Apple's App Store. Look for the Smartsheet app, download it. Once you open it, you just log in with your email address that I invited you to your prep inventory system with, and you'll see your dashboard. Fourth, I want to hear about your suggestions. It's really your ideas that will help this inventory system be incredibly valuable to really any prepper. And last, if anyone's considering using the inventory system for your mag, I'd love it if you would let me know. I think this is a perfect use for this online collaborative system, and I'd love to work closely with you to help you get it set up in a way that best supports the multi-user use. So the topic for this video is really about user feedback. I think my favorite thing about offering this prep inventory system to the community is hearing from people. Whenever someone signs up for the interest list, I like to email them and ask them why. Why did they join the interest list? What are their challenges that they're trying to solve with it? What are their hopes for the system? And also, once I've set someone up and it's been a few days, I like to check in with them. I like to make sure that the system's working the way that they expected it to, as well as proactively address any questions or challenges they may be facing. Now, of course, some people are more responsive than others and are more free in sharing their feedback, but I love hearing from everyone. They and you are the reason I'm doing this. We may not know each other, but as you may have seen in my last video, I feel called to do this and feel called to support this community. So in this video, I'd like to share some of the feedback that I've received about the prep inventory system so far, and we've really only started about 6 weeks ago. Now, I don't share any of this to pat myself on the back, far from it. I share this feedback because I'm hoping that for those who would benefit from this system, that you'd hear something from a fellow prepper that resonates with you, something that motivates you to either one, join the interest list if you haven't already, or two, to get started and follow through with using the system. It's not enough just to hear what I have to say, since I'm the one who built it, and I'm such a, I'm a nerd. You may not be, and you probably are not in many ways. So the way that I communicate is going to be different than the way a lot of other people communicate, and maybe the way that best resonates with you. So, I felt that you need to hear from other people, just like just like you, who see this as a solution to their challenges in organizing their preps. So what I'm going to share is a mix of what people said about their challenges before using the prep inventory system, as well as feedback after they had started to use it. So with that said, let's see what people are saying. All right, so the first one here is from Shannon. Shannon says, I'm new to prepping and I'm getting overwhelmed. I'm limited on space, and having lots of clutter or large amounts of things stacked is making me anxious. I need a system so that I know what I have and where it's at, because I find I'm spending too much time constantly rearranging things and not sure I even have the right things. So Shannon is the perfect challenge that the PrepperNerd inventory system is trying to solve. And Cowgirl says, what interested me was the great way you have come up with to keep up with things. Currently I have things jotted down in a notebook, but after you use and scratch out, then try to add new things, it becomes a mess. Also, the fact it helps with breaking down servings and nutritional values is brilliant. Secondly, I try to support those in the prepping community that I involve myself with in ways that I am able. Want to show appreciation, gratitude for what they do for us. Thanks much. And I want to recognize Cowgirl. She was actually one of the first people to support what I'm doing on Patreon. So I want to thank Cowgirl so much for that support. And if anybody else is interested in supporting my work, whether you're using the system or not, would like to support the community through this work, I would very much appreciate it. You can find me on Patreon. I think if you do a search for PrepperNerd, it's pretty much guaranteed you'll find me. As well as my link is available at the end of this and beginning of this video. So next we have feedback from Shelly. I started entering the minute I got your program. I absolutely love it. I have so much to enter yet, but it's helping me find the holes. Thank you so very much, one, for creating this program, and two, for allowing me in on it. You definitely need to promote this, and I will be glad to help any way possible. Thank you so much, Shelly. So Katie says it's very easy to understand and navigate. That's especially important to me because I know, with my technical knowledge or experience, this can't be a system that requires technical skill, someone that is highly technically proficient. It needs to be easy. I want it to be as easy as possible so that it's as accessible as possible to people that, in all walks of life and, all proficiencies with computers, for example, or apps. So this is one that's very important to me, for it to be easy to understand and navigate. Next, Alonda says, your prep dashboard was amazing. I've been preparing for approximately 6 years for an immediate family of 9 and medical supplies for the extended family of 16. I'm a retired nurse midwife and care for both of my elderly parents, so being prepared is in my nature. Your system looks like it would be perfect for showing the immediate deficiencies that need to be closed. By preparing for so many storages everywhere and it's hard to track, your system appears to solve that problem. Yeah, I can definitely relate to what Alonda's saying here about storage being, in many places throughout my home, and the system is perfect for showing what food categories you may be deficient in, so that you can make sure that you have good balance of your prep meal. Teresa says, I love the system. I cannot find anything I would change. I like that I can make it as simple or detailed as I want, and that's actually something I want to talk about too. The system is customizable to the way that you want to use it. So when you sign up for the system, as you may know already, I invite people in groups so that I can set up groups of people at a time, so that people aren't waiting a long time to get set up. But when I invite you, you get an email with a link to a form, a questionnaire that asks you for your preferences. So based on your preferences is how I set up your system. So it's customized to your needs. She continues, I also like where I can look at where all my calories are coming from. and where I need work. The system is very nice. It's one thing to look at your food and see holes, but to also see it in a graph, it helps a lot. Jody says, I started looking for an app to keep track of my prepping food and supplies about a year ago. I looked at a bunch of different apps, home inventory, food storage, etc., and downloaded a few, but didn't find one that had the design, features, and flexibility that I need. I'm looking forward to accessing and using your prep tracking system. Diane says, I've been doing this for over 10 years now, and paper and pencil takes time to update. I believe your program could really help speed inventory and restocking up a lot. Yeah, that's true. This system will help you reclaim your time, the time that you invest into prepping and organizing your preps. It really will help you speed up that process. Diane says, I believe the program is going to be just what I need. I really love the best by date entry and item location. I've been doing this for so long now. I know there are a lot of things I have forgotten about in my preps. I will now have a fast and easy way to know what I have and where it is. Thanks for all the hard work you put into developing this program. I believe it's a must-have for preppers. Raven says, I'm somewhat new to prepping, but I've been compiling my own inventory sheets and it's a mess. I found the video on your updated system and it spoke to me. I'd love to try your system and stop trying to reinvent the wheel. Renee says, the more preps I do, the less space I have. I'm having a hard time keeping up with it and knowing where to rotate what. It seems everything has been super fast lately, and now it would be very helpful to have a system. I just heard TJ talking about this. By the way, thank you, TJ, for sharing this with your community. I couldn't thank you enough. It's very, very appreciated. Renee continues, I heard TJ talking about this and thought I would take a look at it. Gloria says, the dashboard is great. The only thing I have a problem with is I didn't add basement to the storage area. I'm very pleased with this app. And to address Gloria's concern there, even once I set you up, there are some things that, because you're a free user of the app, basically, there's some things that you'll be able to do. You'll be able to enter all of your preps and use the dashboard, use the graphs and everything. But there's some changes like, hiding or showing columns or adding or removing categories and things like that I do for you administratively. So this is one area she didn't add an option for the storage location for her basement. So basically I updated that and then it was added and she was on her way and she's able to use that category now. Inventory. Sharon, I'm a 69-year-old grandmother and great-grandmother of 3. I tell my kids that they better start buying and putting up beans and rice. They all agree things are not good, but they have seen me put beans and rice and cornmeal flour up in the freezer for years, so they think that I have enough for everyone. I hope this can help me show them this amount feeding everyone won't last very long. That's a powerful one, I think. Gloria said, I had a large amount of bulk food to enter into my food inventory. Now that it's done, I enter as I go and it's easier and faster. It's worth it in the long run. I want to comment on this one too. There is an investment of time getting your food into your food inventory, but guess what? It's worth it. It pays off because once it's in there, now you have something to build off of, and it becomes far easier to maintain your food inventory once your food is in the system, and then you can leverage that information to help point out what you need to focus on. Gloria continues, I now can set a goal on how many months or years I want available for emergencies or when we go self-sufficient. It lets me know the number of servings and calories of each item I've entered. I use the dashboard to see how we are reaching our goals. It lets me know if we need to increase or decrease on certain items. I'm very proud of the system and I know you will be pleased too. Kristen says, awesome, the way you're building it now sounds even better and makes more sense with calorie breakdowns. Right now all I have is paper with lists, and I have to keep counting my inventory and updating the lists. So to be able to have that in a digital format will be incredible. I just looked at your website again and see the screenshot of the dashboard. I love how it tells you how many days worth of food you have with the color-coded breakdown. That to me is the most important thing. Also the reference links down the side, shelf life, resources, etc. Genius. I can't claim that, but I appreciate the feedback. Margaret says the value of the system is seeing how much food and supplies you actually have on hand, as opposed to what you think you have on hand. This is an interesting one. I've heard it both ways actually from users. Some people say they thought they had a year, and they've come to realize they only have 6 or 8 months, which is kind of a shocker, right? It's eye-opening, but you definitely want to know that now, right? Instead of knowing that when you need it. So that's really important. But I've also heard it the other way, where people thought that they had like 3 months, and it turns out they have more like 5 or 6 months. So that's a good situation to be in, obviously. I'd rather have more than I think than less than I think. But it's very interesting because people are just really appreciative that it helps them really get clear on exactly what they have, let alone where it is and the best by dates and all of that, but really being clear on exactly how much food preps they have put away. Margaret continues, I think it's great. I can now see where my low inventories are or weaknesses. I can see where my oldest food stores are and use them in a timely manner. Awesome. Candy, I have been trying for years to create the perfect spreadsheet for my family to keep track of what we have and where. Honestly, the task is time consuming, and with my medium knowledge of Excel spreadsheets, it starts to become a chore. So is often just given up on for months at a time. The process actually seems to repeat itself. We have several types of places to store as our place is small, so that's something that I would like to see included, which of course it is. But honestly, I've seen your layout and I love how it incorporates charts instead of just the continuous spreadsheet workbook that are endless characters. That is just an eyesore. Thanks for doing this and working so hard on it. And Candy, you're very, very welcome. Feedback from Mike. How would I explain the value of the system? Not sure I'd do it justice, but I will say that I've been very impressed with it just in the little I've used it. Super easy to use. Again, I'm very proud of that. It is very easy to use, but if people are having any challenges with it or not sure how to start, even with the getting started video playlist that I've put up on YouTube, I'm more than happy to help you through it. You can simply email me and I can give you a more personalized coaching on how to get started with your system. So he continues, super easy to use, and the automatic feedback it generates is amazing. Just enter in a few of your preps and it tells you just how many days of food you have. I thought I only had a month or two saved up, but now I know I have between 3 and 4. And I haven't even finished entering everything in. I plan on finishing up my inventory over the holidays and looking forward to finding out just how much my hard work has really paid off. Would I recommend this to other preppers? Absolutely. Yolanda, I am using a paper method to keep inventory at the moment, but when I can see everything at a glance is a very big difference for me, and getting help with what I should be focusing on is great. And I think she's referring to the food categories and the servings, the balance of servings. She continues, also it will help me to be more organized with what I need to purchase, so I won't be all over the place. And I could budget myself way better than what I'm doing at the moment. And this actually brings up something for me. The way that I use this system, it's really helpful because when I go to the store, like Costco, for example, I can just pull up my inventory on the app and see my balance of servings across all the food categories and see, okay, as of right now, it looks like I'm a little low on, condiments and dressings category, right? Or snacks category or meat category, whatever. So I can, in the moment, I can see exactly where I need to focus my money. She continues, thank you, Mike, for the time and financial sacrifice you're putting into your Love Your Neighbor project. I appreciate you. And I appreciate you, Yolanda. Thank you so much for your feedback. Diane says, have you ever asked yourself what preps do I need to buy next? I've bought many things, food and non-food related, over the past 10 years. A lot of things I remember I have, and others I have completely forgotten about. I plan on this system changing all of that for me. I believe the system can make anyone's prep stronger in the days to come. Yes, it does take time, but isn't your life and future worth it? I've spent many years prepping and trying to be ready when hard times arrive. I believe those times are near, and I want to know that I have what I have and how long it should last me. I've thrown away food in the past due to forgetting I had it or not rotating things like I should. Let's face it, we all get busy and neglect things we should be doing, and rotating food sometimes can be very time consuming. I believe this program is going to allow me to utilize my valuable time, and I think it could everyone else's too. I love being able to look at my dashboard and know sorry, I put that word in there, and know what areas I'm lacking in my preps so I can buy more of those items the next time I go shopping. I can look at expiration dates and begin to plan meals around those items that are expiring first. I still have a long way to go in putting my preps into the system, but it will all be worth it when I'm finished. I want to thank PrepperNerd for all the time he's invested into the system that I've waited many years to become available to preppers. I hope many more will give it a try, as I do too. I really do hope many more people will give it a try. And she continues, I hope they like it as much as I have so far. So thank you, Diane, for all of that feedback. I appreciate it. Jason says, I've been acquiring preps for years now, but keeping track of items, quantities of each item, expiration dates, and overall picture of what we have versus what we need. I've recently started a mag. We have 6 families, and the talk about how to easily track everything was a concern. I happened to see this inventory system on one of your videos on YouTube and wanted to find out more. Does the system track other items, non-food related preps such as gear, i.e. water filters, med kits, cleaning supplies, etc.? And the answer is yes, it absolutely does. It's not been an area that I've focused on. I don't even have a video in the Getting Started playlist on this, but the system does track supplies. It has the food inventory sheet and it has the supplies and equipment sheet. So all of these things, water filter, med kits, cleaning supplies, etc., 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 all fit into that supplies and inventory. Anything that's not calorie related would fit into the supplies and inventory spreadsheet. And that is the last of the feedback that I wanted to share today. I just want to say it's just so humbling and rewarding for me to be able to contribute my time and talents to support such an incredible community. I just love hearing these stories and having the opportunity to have a positive impact on people's lives, both now and in the event of a potential SHTF situation. If you'd like to get set up with your own prep inventory system, you can go to go to the link on the screen here, prepper-nerd.com, and sign up for the interest list. People are invited in groups so that I can make sure to set people up quickly and that you're well supported as you begin to use your system. I want to thank you for watching. Please do hit the thumbs up or down to let YouTube know to show this video to more people, and subscribe and hit the bell if you'd like to make sure that you're informed of future videos. Again, this is Mike, the Prepper Nerd, and I am